Good day, Professor Mel and my dear classmates. Since the time we started this subject, COM 370, we talked about a lot of things about corporate social responsibility, like uh, the meaning, theories, and models done by some researchers and some communicators. Now, when we talk about social responsibility, we talked about the responsibility that companies bear for the social and environmental effects generated by their business activities. CHR is not only about ensuring legal compliance, they also mean improving the sustainability of corporate activities by taking into account opinions from the company's stakeholders in order to combine increased competitiveness with positive social and environmental impact. It is generally recognized that the people are the organization's greatest asset. Clients or customers, persons in the supply chain, community members where the firm operates or has a personal stake in, and so on, are now included in the definition of people in CSR. While the company's primary responsibility is its employees and shareholders, CSR requires interacting with people outside of its framework. Now, let me share with you the slides I prepared talking about the audiences of corporate social responsibility. As I have just said, audiences of corporate social responsibility. Now, when we talk about CSR audiences, we talk about at least 5 audiences: general public, retail customers, supply chain partners, investors, employees, and regulators. Now, the first audience of CSR is general public or retail customers. Retail customers increasingly accept that they will buy products based on their claimed sense of responsibility or social responsibility or eco-friendly credentials, as long as they are reasonably priced. According to Karen Freeman, Patrick Spinner, and Anna Bird, who wrote 3 myths about what customers want. According to them, 64% of people cite shared values as the main reason they have a relationship with a brand. Naturally, it is in the company's best interest to develop CSR initiatives that align with their customers' values. It is recommended that the company facilitate a candid conversation with some of their best customers and gain insight into their CSR program. Use social media and other outward-facing marketing channels to solicit ideas from the company's audience and keep them informed on how they can be a part of their CSR initiatives. Now, let's turn to the next slide. The next slide is about the supply chain partners. Customers want to make sure that the company is practicing professionalism, operating sustainability, and minimizing the risk that might spread upward. Supply chain CSR is when companies that make up a supply chain work together to share, understand, and work to fix environmental and social problems within the supply chain. Generally, a supply chain is made up of multiple businesses involved in a process that extends from procurement of natural resources all the way to distribution. Therefore, in the event that one of the companies in the supply chain is criticized by stakeholders for its activities, Damages may be borne not only by that company, but by other companies within the same supply chain. To reduce this risk, business generally exchange information by conducting surveys and another or some other methods. To better understand the status of both CSR activities that protect the business and CSR activities that expand the business within the supply chain, this exchange of information is followed by on-site investigation and audits. If a problem is found with the CSR activities which are designed to protect the company should fix these issues to comply with laws and meet stakeholders' expectations. CSR that expands the company, on the other hand, can benefit the entire supply chain by increasing the competitiveness and strengthening the chain itself. This means that promotion of supply chain CSR not only increases competitiveness for services and products, but also increases positive social and environmental impact. This gives prospective business partners a reason to trust and choose a company within the supply chain. Now, the next slide talks about the investors. Investors, of course, includes existing shareholders or the owners and the investment group, those who advise present and prospective owners are legitimate target audience. Now, researchers reported that CSR activities enhance the investor's intention to invest. According to Peterson and Bredenberg, 2009, thus the organization's appropriate investment in CSR activities shows its wise intention and authenticity, which shape the investor's trust. Therefore, according to Saidi et al. In 2015, thereby developing stakeholders' intention to invest in the company. And according to Barnett and Solomon, 2012, and Palmer, 2012, investors show high engagement in a company which show commitment and responsible behavior for environment and society. The net result of CSR is beliefs, impressions, experiences, and availability of required information, which shapes the company's image positively. That is according to Worcester in 2009. Now, therefore, the CSR activities enhance the corporate image, according to Brittville and Arendt in 2010, and also with Chung et al. In 2015, which, according to them, further enhances the investor's intention to invest. The next audience is the employees. Of course, the employees they are the primary audience in CSR. If you think your employees are apathetic towards corporate social responsibility, think again. Because according to one study, it's according to Kate Freeman, Patrick Spinner, and Anna Bird. According to them, 64% of millennials consider a company's social and environmental commitments when deciding where to work, while stakeholders and upper-level executives may seem like the shot callers. It is important to remember that your staff is what holds your company together. Employees deserve to have a say in the direction of CSR program. Thus, we are being recommended by this source of ours, Karen Freeman. They recommended that companies should create open lines of communication with employees and provide an outlet through which they can voice their thoughts and opinions about the causes they care about. What constitutes ethical labor practices from their perspective? Which social causes are they passionate about? What do they believe about the company that can do to help the environment? A company-wide survey is a good place to start, but the employees' input should not stop there. Managers should meet with their respective teams in order to discuss CSR, answer any questions they might have, and open the floor for them to speak up about the direction your company will take. The next one, the regulators. Regulators. Companies are effectively using CSR reporting to engage indirectly with regulators by communicating programs in CSR reports. Both these companies communicating with regulators, they both directly and indirectly through public messaging, they use of the CSR, sustainability, ESG report to communicate support for and compliance with various standards is one such way. Reading the CSR reports for the building industry tends to be like reading a prose version of how the reporting company is ensuring compliance with various health and safety legislation, or preparing itself for compliance with incoming GHG emission standards. According to the module given to us by Professor Mel, in the United States, the ability to demonstrate a strong legislative compliance program complete with effective risk management processes can be used as mitigating factors in sentencing for any crimes that the organization might be accused of being involved in. Communication for any crimes that the organization might be accused of being involved in communication with these programs in CSR reports is one way that companies, in effect, are using CSR reporting to communicate indirectly with regulators. Now, here is the report or the European Commission Directorate General for Enterprise, and they outline 4 key audiences for CSR communications based on whom the organization intends to notify that it is operating responsibly in the market and what part of the CSR program they are talking about. First one, the marketplace audiences. The marketplace audiences related communications should show how the business has integrated responsible entrepreneurship into practice. Example given to us by Professor Mel include the company's effort to improve support of local suppliers and timely payment of bills, customer retention and satisfaction, product safety, quality of product or services, disclosure of information, labeling and packaging, fair pricing, marketing, and advertising, ethics and consumer rights, after-sales service and consumer education, criteria for selecting business partners, working and living conditions, and human rights issues in developing countries where you may source raw materials. The next one is workplace audiences. When we talk about workplace audiences, it involves employees, trade unions if they are involved, the local community, and public authorities. Workplace-related communication should center on new or innovative actions taken by the company, such as the improvement of working conditions, pay, benefits, or increased job creation. Examples include actions to improve job satisfaction, health and safety, and staff training and development, equal opportunity, employment, and diversity. The work or life balance, flexible hours, balancing family and work, etc. for the employees. The next one is community audiences. In community audiences, it involves employees, relevant local organizations or institutions, public authorities, and relevant not-for-profit organizations. Community-related communications should concentrate on any company-supported volunteer activities by owners or employees, charitable donations or sponsorships, and ways in which the company promotes economic regeneration. Example can include your company's effort to improve social integration, ethnic tolerance and social cohesion, community, healthcare or education, quality of life like sports and culture, the local infrastructure and security. The next one is the environment audiences, and here involves employees, business partners, relevant not-for-profit organizations, consumers, public authorities, and the community around. Environment-related communications should demonstrate ways in which the company takes actions that protect the natural environment. Examples, the company's initiatives that increase energy or water conservation, reduce air and water pollution, reduce use of hazardous chemicals, maintain biodiversity, and reduce waste generation and hazardous waste. Now, in summary, in order for us to achieve the communication outcomes, first of all, we've got to know the audience. Knowing the audience involves communication. And these audiences that I have discussed, when we understand this, or when the company understands it, or understands them, there will be a smooth flow of communication. So much so that it's not just a one-way communication on the part of the company or on the part of the onlookers, but it is from those audiences also that they can communicate their personal vested interests or things that will benefit them, that in the long run, when this two-way street of communication on the part of the management and on the part of those audiences where CSR is being directed to or addressed to, then communication outcome will be a big thing, and we should communicate to our audiences correctly and properly. When that communication is properly and correctly done, then CSR will be, or the main goal of CSR will be met. Thank you so much for listening.